What is up, guys? COD gameplay here, and today's video I am bringing you guys a 66-4 with the PDW, playing some kill confirmed. And basically for the last couple hours I've been playing and trying to go for my choose my class series, and I swear you guys chose like the worst classes for me to use, and you guys probably did that on purpose. You all tried trolling me, and so for about an hour and a half I tried going with nothing at all in my pick 10, and I think the best game that I got was like a 36 and like 9, and I was like, that's not very good. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try one of the ones, another high rated one was the B23R and no primary, and I tried that. I think I ended up going 48 and 9 as well, and I was like, oh, should I upload them? I'm not sure. But then I was like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna play one game of actually trying to go for a legit gameplay, and this is the one game that I played that I actually went for a legit gameplay using a class that I have set up for gameplays. And the strategy in this is I have either lightweight or hardline depending on what mood I feel in, and then I have Ghost always with Perk 1 Greed, and then I have Scavenger always because it's a must. If you don't have Scavenger and you're going for high kill streaks, you're going to be running out of ammo. It's going to be really, really hard. Then as the last perk, I usually use Dexterity. Sometimes you'll use Extreme Conditioning and Dexterity, but I think that Dexterity comes in handy the most because I'll be running, and because I like my playstyle is run and gun, and so with Dexterity I'm able to pull up my gun really fast and all that good stuff, getting those kills in those last split-second situations where you're like one kill off that dog and you need that kill, and bam, your gun doesn't pull up fast enough and you don't get the kill. How heartbreaking is that? And you're like, oh, if only I had Dexterity, I would have won that gunfight. And so that's how I like to set up my classes, like set them up so I can use the perks the most. And so for that reason I never use Cold-Blooded because I think it's absolutely pointless. Hardwired I don't even think I've ever used once as well. I basically have the same perks in every single class, and it doesn't really matter if it's an assault rifle, if it's an SMG, even if it's a light machine gun. It really doesn't change much for my perks. I basically have the best perks set up, and I think that it's probably the best setup that you can ride while relating to perks. And honestly, this game could have been so much faster and faster paced. It could have been a higher score, but you know what? Everyone decided to leave, and it's so painful. That is so tough when that always happens to me. Whenever I have a good gameplay going, everyone decides to leave, and you know what happens then? For me at least, when people start leaving, there's less people on the other team, and when that happens, I seem to play more aggressive. Because let's just say there's only 4 people on the other team, you're halfway through the game, and you're like 40 and 2, let's just say. And you're like, okay, well, I need to keep this up, I need to be aggressive. And then bam, you die, and you're playing way too aggressive for the amount of people. You're putting yourself in vulnerable positions, and right there, that one death that I got like a couple seconds ago, that was a stupid part of me. I was like, I really wanted that kill, and if I was smart, I would have waited for the guy on the right, killed him, turned left, and got the guy on the left. But for some reason I was like, you know what, I was being greedy, and that's one of those situations where you're like, ugh, looking back, not the smartest decision. But you're playing and you have the good shot, and you're in the groove, you think you can do anything, and apparently that situation didn't work out so well. I can't believe I survived right here, long distance, right on the corner, just in time. And see, this is where Blackbird is completely necessary. Watch how I'm just like eliminating the enemies one by one, pre-firing, and taking them out before they even know I'm there. And that's one of the best things about the Blackbird, is pre-firing, and that'll win you so many gunfights. It's unbelievable. And I find it funny how so many people, when there's a Blackbird up in the air, they pay attention to it like it's a UAV, and they don't even pre-fire. With me, I'll be honest, I barely even look at my screen. I'm basically running off the map. I'm just staring at my UAV, and then when a person's gonna come, I just stare at my map, or I stare at my screen, shoot the guy while pre-firing, and I get the kill. You'd be surprised of how much my eyes are actually looking at the map. When people usually play like an average player, they usually don't glance up at the map, and then when you have a really good player, it's actually kind of funny of how they're actually looking at the screen less than the map in some situations, like a blackbird up in the air, stuff like that. And that is why a counter UAV is oh so powerful in this game. If you're up against a strong team and people that know how to play, a counter UAV will shut them down like crazy. Trust me, I hate counter UAVs because I think that I'm a pretty solid player. If I try, I can go consistently well with get a swarm every game if I want, and with a counter UAV, I don't know where they're spawning, and if you don't know where they're spawning, you can't put yourself in a good situation and good position so you won't die. And because there'll be lots of spots where you can basically one-man spawn trap like a certain area where you know they're gonna spawn and come out of like a certain area, and you put yourself there because you know they're spawning that location. If the counter UAV is up, you have no clue. You have to go all off of instinct, look across the map, see where a team is, and you don't even know where everyone is. The counter UAV, if you really want to be a team player, trust me, use it. It isn't the best for getting next kill streaks, but if you're not the greatest player and you want to help out your team, counter UAV I think is one of the best things that you can go. I think in some situations it's even better than a UAV, because a UAV can be countered by Ghost, and what can be a counter UAV be countered by? It's pretty good. No one usually, I think it's countered by one perk, hardwired, but no one goes for it. It's pretty worthless. What are the chances of a freaking counter UAV coming up in a game? Really often. It's not worth going with the perk. Instead, you'll go scavenger, toughness, something that you can use every single time. And that's what I was talking about earlier with picking perks that you always use. And so, my suggestion for you guys, try this setup. On your SMG, go with lightweight and hardline, and then you go scavenger and dexterity. And if you're not the greatest player, don't go with scavenger. Go with toughness. And if you're not level 55, go with lightweight and hardline. And if you are level 55, go with hardline and ghost. This is probably the best combination you can have, and leave a comment. Tell me how it is after you guys test it out. I want to see how good it is. 64-3, pretty good game. Could have been 64-1 if I didn't make the stupid error with the Blackbird and die in the last second. But you know what? It's okay. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this. Peace.